go status?
T-minus 30 seconds.
The morning mayhem.
TPA script running. Second stage LH2 securing started.
Ready for launch?
Ready to embark on a national security mission for the United States of America.
News Talk 92.
Range green.
Igniters armed. Rofi ignition.
KBU.
4, 3, and liftoff.
The morning mayhem is on. The morning mayhem is pre-recorded and for entertainment purposes only.
I think it's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
And let's jam here on this Wednesday morning, everybody. And have we got a lot to unpack today? Hopefully we can get through it all, but if not, that's all right. We'll carry some over. All right, so we got the Camden City Council Roundup. We also have the details on Ordinance 622 for the consumption of an adult tasty beverage on premises. And what does that mean? And say bye-bye to the crane over at the Camden Port Authority. Record-breaking heat and humidity continues on for Arkansas. El Dorado Police and Ouachita County law enforcement take part in the 2022 Special Olympic Torch Run. And your AG Rutledge says that Arkansas is part of a multi-state settlement with TurboTax owners, and Arkansas food banks are seeing higher demand due to inflation. All that and more. News Talk 92 KBU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. News Talk 92, KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. Good morning, everybody, here on this Wednesday morning. 70 degrees outside right now, and it is dry. It's dry, and it's going to be, well, I say it's dry, meaning that there's no rain, but that does not mean dry as in there is no humidity, because the humidity is going to continue on. So I feel like it's probably about 73 or so, like that. So, man, have we got a lot to unpack here this morning as we are kicking off this here 6 o'clock hour. And we've got the Camden City Council Roundup. Now, you're probably thinking, I don't care about no City Council Roundup or nothing about that. I don't care about none of that stuff there. Well, it gets interesting. And I was going through the audio and everything, and then I realized, wait a minute, there was an attorney that said something about something of a thing, and I looked it up, and I was like, wait a minute there, this kind of changes everything up a little bit. We'll get into that. Right now, though, let's go ahead and just talk about the basics here of what happened last night there at the City Council meeting, and some things happened, and it was quite interesting. So Ed Winters addressed the council, and he said that he wanted to give thanks to Kevin Franklin and his staff for the crosswalk paintings across there from Lincoln Center and those new little flashy flashlights. Even though people don't use them, but hey, you know what? It's pretty cool that there's flashy flashlights there, so how cool is that? And it's been a long time coming, and he says that now we need to work on those street lines, those little street, the little stripes out there that kind of, designate which lane is which. Well, if you know what I'm talking about, as you're going southbound there on Cash, right past the Lincoln Center, you'll notice that there's very fainted stripes as those two lanes become one. And they're saying, you know what, now we just... It's just an accident looking for a place to happen. Memorial Day Parade, we thank the mayor and thank Chief Woody and Chief Nash for approving that. Says plans are well along and it's going to be a great event, and that he hopes that the city will join in along with the Judge McAdoo is going, and police, fire will be there, VA will be there, VFW, the Boy Scouts will be joining as well. And he says that he's asking for city council and city employees to be there as well and make a present. He says May 14th, that coming Saturday, they're coordinating the cleanup, and his wife and granddaughters are going to be participating in that. Would love to see the same people standing by him, even though he has health issues and stuff, but he's going to be out there in shorts and whatever, doing, what would be a wonderful thing, just keeping the city clean. Clean that city up. Have you seen this city? Clean that mess up. clean yours. It's like when your mom comes into your room, clean up this room. And you're like, what? Yeah. They come in here and say, have you seen this city? This city is a pigsty. Clean it up. It's when they start knocking things over. You call this a pigsty? Yeah, that's when you start getting in trouble. He said he's also a member of the Kiwanis, if you want us, and they're having they're doing a Make-A-Wish Foundation fundraiser golf tournament, and they did some things, and they're looking for people to help. And the Kiwanis called on him because they knew that he was going to be, talking before city council, and possibly spend some time out there on the golf course and show support and everything. And Make-A-Wish is one of the big deals for the Kiwanis because this is one of their biggest fundraisers for the year. So if you own a business or anything like that, or would like to make a donation, that would be wonderful. And you could contact your local Kiwanis if you want us, and make a donation there for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Alan Dawson, who's the owner of Alan's Restaurant there at 107 Washington, addressed the council and the mayor about a rule the local restaurants can use if they want to sell hard liquor. That's what I'm talking about, baby. You know what I'm saying? Hey, baby, what's up with that hard liquor? Yeah. But no, not that way. I'm just saying, man. No, you don't want to. No, you don't want to do that. Let's see here. Hey, come back over here. Where are you going with all that stuff? Come back here. I need to see. You're blocking my view there, punk. Now come here. There we go. Okay, that's much better. All right. So anyhow, Alan was saying that there's this thing that's out, and it can help some of the restaurants downtown, just anywhere in Camden, to be able to sell hard liquor. And you're probably wondering, well, why do y'all need to be selling hard liquor? Because people, like me, like a little makers, maybe a little 7-7 or something to sippy sip with your steak. Don't judge. If you don't drink, shut up. Let the rest of us enjoy what we do. We can handle it. We're big boys and girls. So anyhow, Alan was talking about this opportunity and everything, but what it requires, though, is that Alan talked to an ABC agent, and or actually the ABC agent came to Alan and asked why he wasn't serving mixed drinks, and Alan explained that the process is just too long. He's too old and tired for this crap, and it's costly. And the ABC agent said that all that's changed, so according to the agent, all that has to happen is for the local city or your local city council to approve an ordinance whereby any and all restaurants within the city limits could apply for a dispensary. This should probably cut about half of what they are currently having to pay in order to serve alcohol and have their alcohol because they're having to buy it from a liquor store. So instead of buying it from a liquor store, they could buy it from a distributor. But the only way they could buy it from a distributor is if they're a private club. Well, these aren't private clubs, these are restaurants. So what you have to do is have an ordinance passed that says, we could do stuff and things like that. And then that way the restaurants, once that ordinance is passed, then the restaurants can go and file ABC and order their stuff from the distributor directly at wholesale. Because you have to look at it right now. The way Emily Robertson over at Postmasters explained this was it basically, okay, so you like the makers, right? You like the captains? You like the sevens? Okay, here's what happens, all right? So she has to go to the liquor store. Liquor, I don't even, never mind that. But she has to go to the liquor store. So she goes to your local liquor store. You could probably think of a few around here, Express Liquor, Red Fox, any of those guys out there. And she has to buy it from them. Now, remember, the liquor store is a retail store, right? So they're selling it at retail because they got it at a wholesale. And so they got to make a profit on it. So it's already marked up. Now, Emily's over there buying that alcohol, that liquor, to bring back to her place, Postmasters, so that way she could turn around and sell it to you because you want a 7-7, or you want some Captain or whatever, nice pina colada, maybe some margaritas. However, she's got to make a profit on it too. So that means that she takes what she bought at retail and then she marks it up even higher. So that means that you end up paying double, if not more, for what you could have bought anywhere else. From either the liquor store or somewhere else that could actually buy direct, like a private club. But their license is set up differently. So what this would do, because we talked about this yesterday, it's like 622. What is this? An ordinance setting forth certain regulations for the sale of alcohol for on-premise consumption? Does this mean we can drink at City Hall? No, it does not. That's not what that meant. What that means is that places like Allen would be able to file for a license through ABC, and ABC would allow Allen's to buy liquor, your Sevens, your Makers, and all that stuff there, directly from the distributor instead of through another retail store. So that means that should, in theory, cut the price down and bring the price down a little bit. So that way they can actually have room for markup and make some money. So everybody gonna make a little money. At least that's the idea. So that's what that was. So then the way that, where'd she go? The way that Emily explained it here, I figured using her audio would be better for her to explain it than me.
Emily Robertson, 3138 Roseman Road. He kind of opened it up or whatever. So ultimately, it takes about a year because you have to have a nonprofit established and so forth to have a private club. And then that's got to be established 1 year prior. And then you have to do the application process, which is a pretty lengthy process. If you want to sell alcohol, hard liquor rather. Beer and wine's a little bit easier. Ultimately, what this does for us is it streamlines it and makes it a little bit of a easier process if anybody wants to sell something outside of beer and wine. It also lowers the permit cost. I'm not exact. They have kind of a. Found several different things on the internet. I haven't actually talked to ABC on this subject lately, but it's kind of a sliding scale permit cost as far as if you have. So it's based on the number of seats in your establishment. It also makes it to where we can buy wholesale. Right now, if you buy a liquor drink in my place, I bought it at the liquor store. I paid markup and sales tax on that before it ever got to you. Anyway, but basically, we would still have to apply for the new permit. So our old permit is good as long as we're still, within compliance and all that good stuff. But if this does pass, we still have to apply for a new permit. And at that point, it would put us in line to save some bucks and hopefully, extend that savings to, our neighbors and what have you. And if nothing else, maybe our prices don't go up for a little while like everything else in the world. But anyway, I hope this is something that it seems like something really easy. It doesn't change the way that we do business as a community. It does change how we do business as the business owners and so forth, just as far as permit costs and cost of product that we're trying to sell. Anyway, thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
So instead of applying for mixed drink license, whatever, from private club organization, it'll be done from ABC or?
We still would apply with the ABC. Currently, I hold a private club Class A license. Mm-hmm. I also hold a wine. I don't remember the exact words for it, but I also hold a retail beer permit to the tune of $2,350.
That was Askew there asking Emily that question, and I apologize for all that banging noise and everything because where my recorder was, somebody couldn't sit still with their hands and listen to Emily talk. All right, I've got to take this break. We'll continue on the other side. News Talk 92, KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. News Talk 92 KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. Yeah, don't forget the Special Olympic Torch Run starts at 9 a.m. this morning from the courthouse to downtown. 70 degrees outside right now. So that's going to be happening there. Special Olympic Torch Runs starts at 9 a.m. And real quick here, what I do is in here because let me tell you about it here just real quick like here because I'm going to tell you about it here real quick like. So, oh, that was yesterday. Oh, that's what she was talking about. Okay, I got it. Okay, no, that's cool. Okay, no, I'm confusing the two. Yeah. So the one that's done by Washita Industries, that's where I'm confusing the two. All right. Washita Industries is doing the Special Olympic Torch Run. It starts at 9 a.m. from the courthouse to downtown. That's happening today. The other one, El Dorado Police and Washita County Law Enforcement take part in the 2022 Special Olympic Torch Run. That was yesterday. Yeah, that happened yesterday. Tuesday is when that happened, because today's Wednesday. Yeah, even though this is pre-recorded. Yeah. I got it. Right. Okay. Anyhow. All right. So we had Emily explain what the whole thing was about this new deal, or actually it may have been pre-existing. But anyhow, the deal is that there needs to be a city ordinance that that's setting forth certain regulations for the sale of alcohol for on-premise consumption and other purposes. So in order for this thing to be able to work, so your local, because like Emily said, you got to realize that when she goes and buys this stuff, before it gets to you, it's already been marked up and it's already been taxed. So she's got to pay sales tax on that. Then she brings it back to her establishment and she's going to fix it all up and everything, sell it back to you, and add sales tax onto sales tax. So now there's sales tax being paid on that twice. So it gets kind of expensive. So with this would allow people like Emily to be able to buy direct and save some money. And then that way you can have more tasty beverages, because you're not sitting there getting cleaned out and everything with, I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. Wow. Okay, so there's that. All right. So then what happened is that they went ahead and voted on that for Ordinance 622, which is an ordinance setting forth certain regulations for the sale of alcohol for on-premise consumption and for other purposes. And it passed. So, yay! There when it passed. Yay! Wonderful, wonderful times. Happy times can be had again. And where's my thing at? There it is. Yeah, there we go. Happy times. Yay! Because we can drink for less on this day. We can get our drinks not cheap and stuff and things and drink some more. I have no idea where that came from. No idea whatsoever. All right, so that's where all that went to. So then after they sat down, Brian Smith came up and he addressed the council. He said last year he had a camper on his property and had somebody temporarily staying there, but then, got a letter and complaints and stuff to move that camper. Bus driver, move that bus. No, it doesn't work the same. And had to move it. And got that all moved out and everything. Got that moved within the last few days over a period of time, though. Has been getting different complaints from neighbors and stuff. And some of these are turning into life-threatening, he says. Had called the police department out in the last 2 or 3 days about it. And also got some complaints against a couple situations in his neighborhood. So these are complaints from him against his neighbors. Or somebody in his neighborhood. Situation going on there. So, there's this house that's next door to him, right? And it's got a camper on it behind this abandoned house. And it looks like it's hooked up to the sewer and even got a water connection there to it. And there's a car on the left side of the dead end. And that car's been there for 3 or 4 months. He also would like to put up a fence around his property so he didn't have to worry about code enforcement complaints and them nosy neighbors as well. So then this one got a little interesting. And this little buzzwords just kind of kept ticking my ear differently. And what it was is, I don't know if you heard, but Morning Star? No. Rising? No. Dang it, now I can't think of the name of it. Jesse's Place, man. You know what I'm talking about, right? You know what I'm talking about? The Star Place in, over there in that shopping center, man. I can't think of it. No, not Star Liquor. Starfire. There it is. Yeah. Starfire. I knew it was Star something. Anyhow, so if you've been following the news and especially following the show, you'll know that Jesse got shut down. He got raided, allegedly for having THC in his product. And then these dudes over here at High Note, Hemp, also got raided allegedly for having THC in their stuff too. And also allegedly having edibles and some other things that had high THC in there over the legal limit and stuff and things. All right, allegedly. And I say that. So this guy is an attorney at law, and he appeared before the city council. His name's Matt Thomas, and he's representing High Note Hemp Dispensary in the Garden Oak Shopping Center. And that's kind of where it hit me. I was like, dispensary? We don't have any dispensaries over here. The only dispensary, closest one is over Laredo. Dispensary. So I looked it up, and I'm like, wait a minute, something's not adding up here, man. So I looked up, and I'm like, where in the world do we have a dispensary? Because I know we got one around here near us, and so I looked for Camden, because I'm like, if he's calling that place a dispensary, because you have to have a license to be a dispensary. And that means if you're a dispensary with that license, guess what you dealing out? You dealing out some marijuanas, not just hemp. Because remember, hemp and marijuanas, even though it's cannabis, it's two different species. And so they're the same thing. They look the same. They taste the same. They look the same. I mean, everything seems to be the same about them, but it's just one has THC and the other one doesn't. Actually, it kind of does. Think of it this way. Marijuana is like a Budweiser. Okay, so you know what Budweiser is, right? It's a beer. What's in beer? Alcohol. Okay, so you know that when you pick up a nice bottle of Budweiser, you're going to get yourself some alcohol, right? And so if you pick up marijuana, you know that you're going to get some THC. Can we agree? Okay. We on the same page? All right. So when it comes to hemp, even though hemp looks just like the marijuana plant, and hemp does all the same things and everything, the only difference is it doesn't have THC, or it has a very small, minimal amount of THC. Okay. So in comparison, think of a O'Doul's. Now, O'Doul's is a beer, right? But it's not really a beer. It's a beer that wants to be a beer, but it has nothing of beer, because even though it's a non-alcoholic beer, it still has a very minute amount of alcohol in it. Hold that thought right there. And I got to take this break. I'm a minute over. Take this break. We'll be back. We'll pick it up right there. News Talk 92, KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. News Talk 92 KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. It's a good thing, as Martha Stewart would say. Let's see. We are trying to, we come out of the bottom of the 6 here. 70 degrees outside right now. Feels like 73 out there. A little warm, a little humid out there. The humidity is going to be continuing on, too, so get used to that. And if you're working on your hair, put it up in a ponytail like I did, because it just ain't worth it. All right, so just before the break, we were talking about the difference between marijuana and hemp and Budweiser and O'Doul's. And we left off on O'Doul's because we know what O'Doul's is. It's a non-alcoholic beer. But we say it's non-alcoholic, but in reality, it actually still has alcohol in it. It just has a very small, minute amount of alcohol in it. Like, you could still get drunk off of it, but dude, you'd have to drink like 50 vats of this beer to actually feel a buzz. Whereas hemp is kind of the same way. You can smoke it, but you would have to smoke so much of it. You'd probably have to smoke 50 acres worth to be able to even feel a buzz. But that's how minute it is. It's still there, but it's so minute that it nothing happens. Okay, so there is a limit, and I believe that's 0.3. Anything above 0.3, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it's 0.3. Anything above 0.3 with THC is considered illegal in Arkansas, unless you've got you're a dispensary or you have the card, right? Okay, so the dude. This guy here, Matt Thomas, who says he's an attorney representing High Note Hemp Dispensary in Garden Square Shopping Center. And he said it again, dispensary there, with allegations against them in a criminal court, but they are continuing to try to operate in this community and are feeling the pressure. And he says that I'm here tonight to try to answer any questions about the industry. I have experience and represented people both in the CBD industry as well as the THC medical side and recreational marijuana in other states if you want to. So he has a very vast knowledge of regulations involved, and he'd be happy to answer any questions. He says his clients are operating an industrial hemp facility selling CBD. Now, he just said that they were a High Note Hemp dispensary. Or it's in the name or something. I don't know. But dispensary, that's what I locked onto, was that word dispensary right there. Now, I am no attorney at law, okay? But I can research and look up things, especially fun things. And so I did. I looked it up. You know where I went? I went on over there to the healthy.arkansas.gov website, basically the Arkansas Department of Health. And I looked up some stuff, and I said, hey, what does it take to be a dispensary? And so it gives you a link to where you can go to find dispensaries. Now, there are like zones in Arkansas, and there are a total of 8 zones across the state of Arkansas. And I looked through there, and I'm seeing like Fayetteville, Bentonville as well, a bunch over there. Mountain Home, Clinton, Heber Springs, Morrilton, Russellville, seeing stuff up north there, Clarksville, Conway, Little Rock. Okay, we're getting a little more central here, Hot Springs. We're seeing West Memphis. We're seeing Hensley, Brooklyn. We're seeing Alexander, Fort Smith. Oop, we just shot right back up over there. Pine Bluff. Now, we're getting a little bit closer to home. And then we're seeing Warren, Pine Bluff again. We're seeing Texarkana. Whoops, we overshot. Arkadelphia, but I did see one, and I see this all the time when I'm driving back and forth between Camden and El Dorado, because El Dorado thanks me for my business. That they do, because they just love it when I come to town and spend my money there. It's Noah's Ark, right there off of 3213 Northwest Avenue in El Dorado. It is a listed dispensary according to the Arkansas Department of Health. Now, I did not see anything on here about high note, so I'm questioning, what does he mean by dispensary? What exactly does that mean? Because if he is truly a dispensary, then they would be within their legal rights, I guess, to be able to have anything with THC in it, and be able to do medical marijuanas and chewables and edibles and all that kind of fun stuff there. So then I looked up and I was like, well, what exactly is a dispensary, and what does a dispensary license allow you to do? Well, it says a dispensary license allows the business to acquire, possess, manufacture, process, prepare, deliver, transfer, transport, supply, and dispense medical marijuana to qualifying patients and caregivers, with a maximum of 40 dispensary licenses awarded within 8 dispensary zones, which we found that 8 dispensary zones, yes. Dispensary locations may not be any less than 1,500 feet from a school, church, or daycare center. Let's see. No more than 1 license shall be issued to any entity. The application fee for a dispensary license is set at $7,500. Applicants shall provide proof of assets or security security bond in the amount of $200,000 and proof of at least $100,000 in liquid assets. So to have a dispensary license, that's the requirements right there. And I don't know if that means, to be called a dispensary, you have to have a dispensary license. But, it could be just throwing that in there in the name. I don't know. But according to the Camden Police Department, what they found was some stuff that tested positive for THC, according to them. And they rushed that stuff off to the state of Arkansas to have them tested. They came back, according to the state, they said, yeah, that looks good. And so from there, they went ahead and did their stuff. And then just from the side of conversation, dude went back and reopened the store and went back to what he was doing and got busted again. So that's where we're at right now. So as far as I know, I lost count after 2, but I think they got busted twice. So Thomas here, attorney at law, says that he has vast knowledge of all this stuff here and everything. City's going down. Y'all are going down. I'm telling you. I don't have that song. No, I don't. Meet me in the mall. It's going down. Meet me in the club. It's going down. Meet me anywhere. Meet me. It's going down. That's what I'm saying. Anyhow, excuse me. So that's where we're at. He's here to represent them. He's saying that his clients have been harassed by the community and stuff. Boy, I can tell you this. Thomas is not from around here, because we already had another company come in here wanting to do hemp and stuff, and guess what they were told? Kick bricks? Yeah, kick bricks. Not in my town. Oh no, you're not bringing that you're not pushing that stuff in here. Get the out of here. Move it on down the road. That's what they did. They ran them off. And the attorney at law here, Thomas, is saying that, you know what? My clients will take their business, pack up, and they will go somewhere else, and they will sell their stuff, and that's tax dollars will be going. So trust me, buddy. I've already tried to threaten the city, and I've threatened the people who are against the entertainment district about tax dollars. That's why we always say El Dorado thanks you for your business, because we prefer to spend our tax dollars in El Dorado than we do in Camden. I know it sounds weird, but Thomas is about to learn something very interesting about Camden. Camden don't give up. They don't. That's what I've learned the hard way. I'm thinking, hey, man, let's get an entertainment district in here, man. Let's get some stuff popping, man. Let's get a little entertainment and people coming in from outside so they can spend their money in our tax coffers and be able to bring that money over here instead of us sending that money out. Yeah, how about that? And everybody's like, shut up, Doc Bryce. I'm like, well, I mean, it's just an idea. I mean, I'm just saying. I'll go sit down. So now I'm having fun watching this other guy come in and go, you know what, we're going to, and don't threaten them with money, because money don't mean nothing in this town. They don't care. They just want their skating rink. They want their movie theater. They want their bowling alley. And what else do they want? Something for the kids can do. Yeah, that's right. That's it. Yeah. That's all they want. That's all they care about. And that's all they're going to fuss over. Other than that, kick bricks is what they tell you. So anyhow, I'm sorry, I had to add that in there, man, because I'm like, dude, I'm with you, man. I hear where you're coming from. I could stand right there with you, and I'd be like, yeah, take tax dollars over to El Dorado. El Dorado thanks you for your business. Yeah, I still go to El Dorado and spend my money over there than I do in Camden. Sorry, Camden. El Dorado's got the goods, and they got the entertainment, too. So anyhow, he says his clients are operating an industrial hemp facility selling CBD. It's governed by the federal farm bill, which is true. And the Arkansas laws on CBD dispensary has a provision, and it says explicitly it will defer to the federal law in this area. And he says his clients believe and strongly believe and remain in compliance with federal law. And they would like to have a presence here in the community. Their sales were $30,000 a month before the first raid, and they were about to recover from that. And just as and of course, they could take those tax dollars, and those tax dollars will be leaving the community. And that's where I'm hearing that guy over there at that one going, ha 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 ha, take your money. We don't care. We don't need your dirty money. Because that's pretty much what they said about, when we were trying to do the entertainment district. That's dirty money. That's fornication money is what that is. We don't need your fornication money. Like, nobody fornicated over anything, dude. I mean, they bought some a couple drinks and had a good time. And then went home. And then went to work the next day. Nobody died. But, it's dirty money. According to that guy over there at that other across town and stuff. Yeah, Thomas has got a lot to learn about this town. I'm just saying. I mean, dude, I just went through this myself. I'm like, you know what? We just take our money elsewhere. They don't care, because we threatened it too. We said, you know what? El Dorado thanks you for your business. We're going to El Dorado. We're going to drop our money over there, and they'll get the tax dollars. Not one person gave two about anything that we said or did about tax dollars. So he says, I ask you seriously, consider before taking official action, zoning, restricting any type of business in this community, the impact of simply sending businesses down the road, because Camden will tell you to just kick bricks. They don't even want hemp in this town. Anyhow, the industries have and I agree with them. It is a growing industry. It's in every community and in the state, and it's a fast growing community, and everyone understands the industry except for people in Camden, the intent of the regulations and everything else, and what it means to do this kind of business in town. It's perfectly legal. There's nothing illegal about it. But unfortunately, here in Camden, somebody else already came in here, and that's all they wanted to do was process hemp. That was it. Farmers come out and no, not that guy. No. I'm not talking about, no. I'm not talking about Ford. I'm talking about the other guys that were here before Ford. Ford kind of fell in behind those other guys because whoever it was, I'm not naming names or anything like that, because it was basically all unofficial. And that was the thing, because they came in and they were like, oh, yeah, man, we love to be able to do that. That's great, because, we can, see, there you go. There's the sounder right there. Rumors, because it's unofficial. Yes, sir. So that's what happened. was that another company before Ford came in here and said, hey, we want to buy some property and stuff, and we want to do these things, and we want to bring business to Camden, and we want to put people to work. And everybody's like, yeah, man, that's cool. We like to put people to work too. So what is it exactly that you do? We process hemp. That's what we do.
Look at all these rumors surrounding me every day. I just need some time to get away from all these rumors. I can't take it no more. My best friend said there's one I never meet, a girl next door.
Now, it's been a while since we fired that thing up. Talking about rumors, because that's exactly where we're going with this. Everything's unofficial right now. So we got to make sure we cover our tukuses and making sure that this story we're about to tell you is just all rumor. So anyhow, before Ford came in, because Ford's deal is that what he wanted to do was get people planting seeds and stuff, and then he would even supply the seeds, supply the fuel and everything. All you had to do was have the land to get it done. And then he was going to take and actually open up a processing facility to process the hemp. And then we'd have a marketplace for the farmers to bring their hemp to market without having to go to like Hot Springs Village, because I think that's the closest one. And then we could keep the money here. But the question was, exactly how does that work? Because we never got far enough to actually see what was in the contract, though. That was the biggest part. Because what kind of seeds is he giving you? Because there's two types. You have a male seed and a female seed. One of them does not grow. So could there possibly be a scam where, say, like, okay, you sign a contract and he says, I'm going to give you equipment, I'm going to give you fuel and everything, and you're going to produce this much for me at this amount. So if you don't, then I get to recoup that cost by taking your land or taking your assets or whatever it is. Or could it be somewhere in there that you sign off your mineral rights, not realizing that you signed off your mineral rights? See, we never really got that far into the contracts to see anything like that, because I was really curious. How does this work? I want to see that contract. And it's very easy to sign away your mineral rights and not even know that you did it. And that means that anything that pops out of your ground, you still own the land. The land's all yours. Everything on the land, the house, the improvements and all that, it's all yours. But whatever pops out of that ground is his, if you signed away your mineral rights. So that means every time that you grew hemp on your land, it's not your hemp now, it's his hemp. And he can do whatever he wants with it because you signed away your... See, and that's just speculation, though, but we never got that far with it. Because he came in and behind the other company that was legit out of Alabama and said, hey, we want to set up shop over here. And they said no once they found out what they were doing. So, you know, it's just kind of funny. Dude's like, I'm threatening you. I'm going to take the tax dollars and we're going to go elsewhere. But good luck with that. All right. Hang on. I got to take this break. We'll be right back. News Talk 92, KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. News Talk 92, KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. Trying to put a little ribbon on this thing here somehow. Talking about this dispensary that got shut down. If it is a dispensary, I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because according to the Arkansas Department of Health, there's only the nearest dispensary to us is in El Dorado. And supposedly this place is a dispensary as well, according to what was said in the audio, that it's a dispensary. But I'm not seeing it pop on any of the 8 zones that are in the state of Arkansas. So anyhow, he's saying that, if the community continues to put pressure on this business, and they'll just go to another community and take those tax dollars with them, and that'll be collected by another city. And I ask you to seriously consider before you take any official action in zoning and restricting any type of business from this community, the impact of simply sending businesses down the road. That's what Camden's really good at, is sending business down the road. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I mean, I've seen some things and stuff. I mean, it depends on what it is, really. When it comes to hemp, oh yeah, pack it. pack. You know what? Just where's my thing at? Just pack your and move on down the road. Now, when it comes to anything else, like a burger joint, oh yeah, we welcome them. We like burger joints. Well, I'm not saying nothing. Just saying that if it has anything to do with alcohol, if it has, because I mean, remember the entertainment district was supposed to bring in strip clubs, tattoo parlors, pawn shops, and because people got to pawn their stuff to have money to go to the strip clubs and the what was the other one? Oh yeah, the tattoo parlors. Tattoos ain't cheap, man. And then of course, with that other stuff, and then oh yeah, that's right. And then the other things were going to move into town. Just from having an entertainment district, all these shenanigans were going to happen. So anything that could encourage those type of things to happen, because if you put a hemp dispensary, anything here in Camden, guess what's going to happen? Tattoo parlors are going to show up, strip clubs going to move in, and it's just going to be crazy cats and dogs living together, just total chaos. So anyhow, it'd be interesting to see how this thing plays out. Some other things that happened as well. Sandra Lee also got up and spoke with the council, and she said a thing or two because she mad, and she got cut off too because she went a little longer. In all fairness, she went a little longer than 3 minutes. But I tried to transcribe what she was saying, and I think it's just better to put it in her words.
I'm here on behalf of myself and a friend of mine who lives out of state but has property here. And first of all, before I say anything, I want to say that I appreciate that the city is cleaning up and code enforcement is actually getting on to people about their properties that's going, unattended. And there are some people who have property here that lives out of the state, but yet, they really don't know the condition. They may be hearing about that is being serviced and it really isn't. But nevertheless, there is some people who would like to keep their property. And some of the problem is code enforcement is putting pressure on people who want to keep their property and threatening to take it and sell it, and actually going on people's property and taking their property after they have been given time to bring their things up to code. So I took it upon myself to just ride around, just here at the city hall and see and I want to pass this around because right here from Madison Street to Wood Street, I've notated abandoned cars, property that the roof is caving in, property that the floors is caving in on the houses. I mean, right here in the block of this city hall, there's abandonment going on. Now, I'm not saying that the city, it hasn't, started to take some kind of action, but nothing has been done. But I'm bringing attention to a property that's located on Anna Street, that's located off of Mall Road. I don't know if any people are familiar where the grave site is, right past Williams Funeral Home. So there's some property that's down on the slope that you can't even see, that's just, out of the eyesight of anybody. And the city has went in there after giving these people time, which their time at the end of June, the city has went in there and confiscated 6 vehicles and had them towed off of these people's property. And of the 10 vehicles that they did have, the city has went in there and had some people to pull out the vehicles and put them in a situation where they can't even get to them. So my thing is this. Now, if the building is out of code and needs some work, then send somebody in there and fix up the building if that's what you got a problem with. If the tree is falling on the house and you feel like that's a hazard, then send somebody in there to remove it. But what the city did was send somebody in there to take all these people's vehicles.
And she's running out of time. 3 minutes are up, so she got cut off from that. But I think she made some great points out there, and she had pictures and everything to support what she was saying and all that. And so she was a little upset about that, and then also put off the fact that she ran out of time. But yeah, there you go. There's your roundup for the city council from last night, and then all the resolutions passed. Oh, and okay. So we've got to hit the top of the hour here in just a little bit. And when we get back, I want to go over some stuff because, let's see, I can do this real quick. We took our times of who everybody put in their times yesterday to see how long that city council would go over. But considering that 2 people were not there, Lindsay was absent and so was Moore, which then really changed it up a little bit. So I went with 8:20. Helen went with 8:27. Bradley went with 8:17, and Lauren there 9:30. Chief went with 9 o'clock. He went a little late with that one there, but that would have actually worked out if Lindsay and Moore were there. So we actually ended early, and Bradley actually got it the closest without going over at 8:17. So he was our lucky winner. Yay, our winner! And when we get back in the next hour, we'll talk about the streets that have been paved and worked on, and then we'll also talk about the other streets that are coming up and those of you who need to keep your cars off the street so that way they can actually do their job and get paving down there, and we'll cover all that and more as we start the next hour. All that and more. News Talk 92 KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. News Talk 92 KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. Welcome here to the 7 o'clock hour, everybody. Yay! 72 degrees outside right now. Gonna get a little warm out there today. Yes, sir. You're looking at about a high of 91. A little humid out there, too. Yeah. So, ladies, if you're trying to fix your hair up and everything, I would probably say just hold off a little bit. Maybe throw it up in a ponytail. Also, don't forget, Special Olympics torch run starts at 9 a.m. From the courthouse to downtown here at the Ouachita County Courthouse. That's Ouachita Industries doing that. Wrapping up our little thing, what's going on here with the city council from last night. That was a good wrap up there. And some interesting things that kind of folded out that kind of took place there. And I am out of Dr. Pepper. That is terrible. I have no more Dr. Pepper. Oh, whatever shall I do? Well, we'll just get through this here, and we've got the round table coming up here in just a little bit. We should have Miss Roark from OCMC coming in today to talk to you about some of the services that they offer out there. Don't forget about the podcast. Podcasts will go up, and you can use your favorite podcast app to download those and get all that podcast stuff there for you and everything else. And get the RSS feed. Put it in your podcast app. It'll take care of itself after that. And it'll be all kinds of goody good and everything, so you won't have to worry about it. Then, with that, other than that, though, it'll post up there on Facebook page, and you can just grab it from there, too. So, I mean, however you got to grab it, just grab it. And then the newest, of course, don't forget about the other ones that are up there, too. Because not only is it Morning Mayhem that's up there, you also got Remember When with Uncle John that's up there. And, of course, Trivia Tracks and Roundtable now separated from this show all by itself up there. So now it stands independent and can do its own thing. Yay! So there it goes. So supposedly Arkansas is part of this multi-state settlement with TurboTax owners. I happen to be a TurboTax owner. I, too, use TurboTax. Well, supposedly, let's see, yesterday the state has secured a settlement with the owner of, isn't that Intuit? Yeah, Intuit, yeah, TurboTax, for deceiving customers into paying for tax services that should have been free. Say what? Well, you know your federal's always free. And typically they usually charge you for state. Typically. I've always seen them charge for state. Multi-state agreement will cost Intuit $141 million in restitution to millions of consumers across the nation, approximately 36,000 Arkansans who will be eligible for a $1.06. I'm sorry. I read that wrong. Eligible for a $1.067 million in restitution. So Intuit must suspend TurboTax free ad campaign that lured customers with promises of free tax preparation services only to deceive them into paying for those services. All 50 states and District of Columbia have signed onto this agreement. Intuit deliberately deceived consumers into paying for their TurboTax service that was actually supposed to be free, Rutledge said. Intuit profited from its lies to Arkansans, and now with the settlement, Intuit will pay over $1 million to Arkansans for its fraud. So under the agreement, Intuit will provide restitution to millions of consumers. Consumers are expected to receive a direct payment, approximately about $30. Each person will get $30. Ooh, oh, so somebody's in the money now. You're in the money. It's called a payday. We're gonna get some money, eat some chicken dinners. Anyhow, yeah. So there you go. 30. Where did I see that? Yeah, $30 for. Wait, hang on. Consumers are expected to receive a direct payment of approximately $30 for each year that they were deceived into paying. Oh, I see. So if you used it for 3 years, it's $90. If you used it the one time, it's $30. So Intuit has also agreed to reform its business practices, including, you know what, it might be time to, refraining from making misrepresentations in connection with promoting or offering any online tax preparation products, enhancing disclosures in its advertising and marketing of free products. Free. A fee may actually apply. Oh, I'm sorry. Did we say free? No, we meant fee. You have to pay a fee. Yeah. Designing in its product to better inform users whether they will be eligible to file their taxes for free, and refraining from requiring consumers to start their tax filing over if they exit one of Intuit's paid products and use the free product instead. I don't know, man. I mean, I use Intuit, but thing is, though, is I have to pay anyways. So it's not like, I get anything free because I have to itemize, and then, I got the LLC, and then I got to pay that, and I got to pay to my own, and then, trying to itemize with that. So, yeah, I never noticed anything free. And even if they did tell me it was free, I didn't notice it was free because, I'm just like, I got to itemize this stuff and everything. So, there's that. How about that? I'm just going to itemize it here. So, with the itemizing and getting ripped off and inflation being higher and higher, Arkansas food banks are seeing higher demands due to inflation. Yeah, kids are getting hungry out there because inflation is impacting every single one of us, but the people with the least ability to cope are getting hit the hardest. Remember, we were talking about $5 or $15 an hour. I could pay $15 an hour. And we were like, yeah, but your Happy Meal and all that, your combo meal and stuff is going to cost like $15. And everyone's like, no, it won't. That's stupid. They're just using that Republican rhetoric stuff and things because that's stupid. That's not going to happen. Ha ha ha. Guess what? Most combo meals now running about $10. Yes, sir. So there you go. Hey, it may not be $15 exactly for that combo meal, but hey, pushing 10 compared to when you used to pay about, $5-7 for a combo meal, and now you're paying 10? Dude, that gets expensive, man. Look, so for Mother's Day, right, went out to El Dorado and got buffet. So typically, I'm used to paying about $30 because, you're talking about $7 per person plus tax, title, license, and then you throw in a tip. You're roughly going to be spending about $35, $37, depending on where you go, for 3 people to eat at buffet. I'm okay with that. That's including tip, okay, $37, because you're looking at about $7.50 per person, and like I said, you add tax, title, license in there and everything, you're looking at about $37. So then I did all this right, and then I get the bill. The bill before I even tipped was $50 and some change. $50 for 3 people to eat buffet, regular, normal, everyday Chinese buffet. $50. That's how much stuff's gone up. And, of course, everybody's talking about, well, we need a living wage. We need a minimum wage. And that's not really going to affect all that. Well, it may or may not have affected that, but it's kind of a coincidence that 2 have gone up together. But not only that, how's that $15 an hour working out right now? Because, that $15 sure ain't feeling like no $15, and it ain't spending like no $15 either, because with the inflation and everything. Well, look at it this way. Always, you know what? There's always a silver lining. There really is. Because look, you could have been at regular minimum wage at $7.25 an hour with this inflation, and guess what? Your money would have been spending like $1.50. Whereas at least now, you got to $15, $11 or whatever an hour. See, now you're back to where you were. See, nothing changed. So luckily, you got that little pad there to help you out and everything. So it looks like you're making more money on paper, but in reality, you're making the same amount. Nothing's changed. You're right exactly where you were, where you left off. So a lot of people have reached out for help for the first time, and Arkansas Food Charities are saying it's getting harder and harder to help because those who used to donate food are also needing food too. Empty shelves are becoming more prevalent at the Arkansas Food Bank right now. This is like the new norm. Eric Shelby, Chief Operating Officer, said there's a lot more going on and a lot more coming in. There's a lot more going out than there is coming in. And with prices continuing to rise and nearly everything at the grocery store and gas going up and food going up, and then it's getting people to turn into the food banks for help because, you know, if you don't have government assistance, like, what is that thing? I can't think of the name of it. The food stamp thing. Yeah, that one. Stamps. Whatever it is. EBT. Yeah, that's it. EBT. Yeah, if you don't have EBT and you need food like now, you go to a food bank. That's what you do. And why? Because all the other government people could use their EBT card to go to a regular store. You can't. If you ain't got no money and no EBT, you go into the food bank. So anyhow, nonprofit is turning over their whole warehouse in about 5 weeks. Soaring oil prices are only making it worse, and that's actually caused fuel bills to go up about 50%. Dude, listen to me. Listen, I live alone. No, I'm not trying to get anybody. Hey, baby, no, this is not for a date. No, not for dating. No, I'm telling you, I live alone. I'm setting this thing up here. House is about 1,500 square feet, plus or minus, according to the tax records. 3 bedroom, 2 bath, nice house. So normally that house, because it's just me in there, when the kid's not there, the house typically stays dark because I'm only in one side of the house. I don't leave lights on and everything around the house. So I'm typically sitting in one bedroom of the house, and that's where the most electricity is being consumed. $96 electric bill. $96. Yes, 96. Thank you. Yes, $96. I'm very proud of that. $96. So I can typically keep it about 96. If the kid's with me during the summertime, it'll go over 100, and I'll probably end up paying about 102, anywhere to 102, 108 if I've got the kid with me in the summertime, because he has this habit of he can figure out how to turn the light switch on. He can't turn it off. And it's like, dude, the switch goes both ways. If you can figure out how to turn it on, you can figure out how to turn it off. Not this kid. It's just kids, man. I was a kid once, too. I did the same thing, you know. I mean, my parents threatened to put a timer in the place of a light switch. It's like, look, if you can't turn lights off, we'll just put a timer in there. And you get 5 minutes of light time. That's all you get. So anyhow, when I'm by myself, that house, it usually runs about $96. $96? Yeah, okay, $96. You know how much I just paid for my last electric bill? My last electric bill. Yeah. Paid $231. $231 for an electric bill when it normally costs me $96. Yeah. When the fuel goes, remember, you got to remember, energy is the foundation of everything that functions. The foundation. If energy goes up, that means everything goes up with it. That means food goes up. That means heating goes up. That means your electricity bill goes up. Cooling goes up. And of course, you know, your fuel goes up at the pump too. All this stuff goes up because energy went up. So it takes energy to make things happen. And so if the source of energy that makes things happen, like producing electricity and making gas, like natural gas, no, not that natural gas. No. I mean, like, you know, now you're cooking with gas, that kind of gas. If it all goes up, well, then everything else goes up with it. Because that stuff requires your foundation, to be able to function. So, yeah, I went from a $96 electric bill to I just paid $231. So between what I'm spending on fuel, because now fuel has ended up killing my budget because I had everything budgeted out. See, I'm a responsible guy. So I had everything budgeted out. Fuel is killing that. And now my utilities are encroaching to where the utilities are costing me more than the rent. To where I can't afford the rent because I'm paying more in utilities and I'm paying more in fuel to just get around. Because, I mean, I put a lot of miles on that truck, man. I got to go get that kid out of Arkadelphia. That's where his mom meets me. So we meet halfway. It's an hour for me. It's an hour for her. Or actually, it's 45 minutes for her from Hot Springs. It's an hour for me. So that's where we meet. And, you know, when you got the kid and stuff and you're paying child support and everything else, utility starts eating everything up and your fuel starts eating everything up. Dude, it kills your budget. Your budget is dead. All right, we got to go ahead and wrap this thing up. Get into the roundtable up next. We should have Miss Roark from OCMC coming in to talk to us for the roundtable. Don't forget about the podcast; they'll be up later, right here on News Talk 92 KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas.